Now, supposing we have a quadratic equation and a linear equation. Something like x squared plus y equals 0, that's a quadratic, and y equals x minus 6, that's linear. Well, what does a quadratic and a linear look like if we graph the two curves? Well, a quadratic, of course, is a parabola and will look something like this. A linear equation is a line and will look something like this. A line may intersect a parabola in two positions, there and there, or it may not intersect it at all, like that, or it may touch the curve like that, and there may be one solution between the curve, between the quadratic and the linear equations. So we might expect one of three cases. We might expect no solutions, one solution, or two solutions. So let's have a look at this pair of equations here, and let's see how we might solve that. Now, the process of elimination that we used is not that we use for the linear linear equation case doesn't usually work for a pair where one is quadratic and one is linear. Substitution is the better way because this will always work. So using the substitution, this is what I can't bear. So using substitution, we can see in this case the equations can be easily substituted because we can, y is given as x minus 6 in the second one, and we can substitute that directly into the first equation. So subs 2 in 1 will have x squared plus y, which is x minus 6, equals 0. And now we have one equation in one unknown, x, and we have x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0, a simple quadratic equation which factorizes x and x, 3 and 2, and we'll have plus 3 and minus 2 equals 0. So that gives us x equals minus 3 or x equals 2. And of course they're simultaneous equations in two unknowns, x and y, so we must substitute these values of x back into one of the equations to get the values of y. So substituting in the linear one is usually better. In 2, y equals x minus 6, so y equals minus 3 minus 6 is minus 9, or y equals 2 minus 6 is minus 4. So in this case, as you can see, there are two pairs of solutions, 2 points if we were to plot the graphs, minus 3 minus 9 and 2 minus 4. So the graph of these two equations in this case will look like this. The red graph is the parabola and the blue graph is the line, and we have the 2 points here, minus 3 minus 9, and here is 2 minus 4. Now pause the video and solve this pair of simultaneous equations. After your attempt, resume the video and see how it's done. Okay, let's call this one 1 and this one 2. Now we see the second equation here, number 2, we've got x squared, y squared and a y term. Now to solve the equation here, we would need to eliminate the x squared. It would be easier than the y, possibly. Either way, we could eliminate y, but if we have only got x appearing once, it would be simpler to eliminate that. So if we rewrite the equation 1 as x equals 2y plus 1, adding 2y to both sides, we can just substitute this into x squared in equation 2 to make 2y plus 1 squared plus y squared plus 2y equals 33. It would have been possible to write, on the other hand, y equals a half x minus 1, and then substitute that into the equation 2, but that would mean substituting in 2 places, so slightly more complicated. Here we get one equation, one unknown, which is y. So expand this binomial, this bracket here, 4y squared plus 4y plus 1 plus y squared plus 2y equals 33. Simplifying, 5y squared plus 6y plus 1 is 33. Subtract 33 from both sides, 5y squared plus 6y minus 32 equals 0. Now this equation factorizes 5y and y, multiply to give 5y squared, and 32 factorizes to 16 and 2, and if we have plus here and minus here, we'll get minus 10y and plus 16y to give us the plus 6y. So y is minus 16 over 5, or y equals 2. And then substituting in 1, which is x minus 2y equals 1, we have x equals 1 plus 2y. So if y equals minus 16 over 5, we have y equals 1 plus 1 minus 16 times 2, that would be 32 over 5, which comes to minus 27 over 5, or when y equals 2, of course this should be x equals minus 27 over 5, and then when y equals 2, x equals 1 plus 4 equals 5. minus 16 over 5. The two solutions are x is minus 27 over 5, y equals minus 16 over 5, and x equals 5, y equals 2. Okay, now return to Study Smart, where you'll find some more problems for you to practice.